Many thanks for staying tuned. It's still the conversation here on Lagos Television. On this segment of the Lagos Conversation today, we turn our spotlight on Lagos State and, of course, take a look at the administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, of course, through the lens of good governance and how in the last 6 years, Mr. Governor, and like they call him, Mr. Sellable, has done. What are some of those things he's done in Lagos State that can be credited to the source of good governance? We have our guest joining us via Zoom this morning, and together we'll be taking a look at the administration of Mr. Governor and issues around good governance. Today, we're glad to have Alade Babatunde Bank Anthony, a public affairs analyst as well as an APC member, join us via Zoom. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on the program.
Good morning, and thanks for having me here this morning.
Right. I know you are an APC member. At least Mr. Governor is in your party. And, of course, we'll be taking a look at some of the things that he's done in Lagos and the impact, of course, he has created. So let's take your view. When we say good governance, what exactly does this portray to you when we say good governance, before we narrow it down to how Mr. Governor has showcased issues around good governance in Lagos?
Well, thank you so much, Mrs. Bimbo. I'm glad to be here. The guy there, I remember my brother very well, but it's been a while.
Good morning, sir.
You guys have had me in the studio. Good morning. So, two things: good governance. One thing is accountability to the people, representation, and delivery to the people on the mandate that got you into the office.
Okay.
So those are the indices of good governance, and we cannot detour from that. Understand me? And we should try and always adhere by that and those principles to make ourselves more accountable to the people, right? And to come with a kitty in what we do when we are in that position of power and authority.
Okay.
So in that, let me take your.
I like how you started, and so that is the basics of what good governance is. So from your own perspective, would you say that Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu has presented good governance to the people of Lagos State in the last 6 years?
Well, to be honest, he's doing a very good job, right? And before I go further of that, let me give you a personal experience, without any unnecessary misconception be attached to it. 6 years ago, the governor came into power, and it's on record. Alade Babatunde Bank Anthony was the first person he removed from office as DG of the Sports Commission.
True.
And that did not block my view of what he's doing. I continue to serve on other boards where I was, and we were able to achieve meaningful gains, meaningful development, meaningful inroads. And gradually he has continued to showcase himself as someone that is acceptable and that listens and that cooperates with the people around him.
Okay.
I think that is what earned him Mr. Sellable, right, to Lagosians.
Okay.
So, in the area of education, area of health, area of environment, you could see the determination that he wants to succeed in those areas. But he could do a lot better.
Okay.
All right. Of course, we all know that democracy is a contract between the government and the governed. What are those key infrastructure that stood out for you as an achievement for this government under Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, looking at the quantum of what Lagos State generates as income?
You see, to be sincere, right, if you look at the areas of the environment, you understand me, where we have one of the most vibrant commissioners now, Tokunbo Wahab. They are trying so hard, and the peers as well, Bolaji Gaji, they are trying to rewrite, those shortcomings in the environment. And I can tell you, the environment is one thing you notice when you come into any town. Then you go to the area of the employment system in Lagos. The employment trust fund in Lagos that was set up by Governor Abode and embraced by him, continued by Governor Sanwo-Olu, has been a major success from the onset. And that is the reason why the governor is still keeping it today. And I believe governors and governors after him will always keep that agency to sustain employment instead of excellence. In education as well, the input, the encouragement, the less privilege, right? The fish training, you understand me? One cannot disregard that to be sincere. But a lot has to be done in the area of transportation. You understand me? In the area of works, in the area of security. I tell people, I'm a proper Lagosian, I'm a local Lagosian, I'm a deep Lagosian, right? Look at from Lagos Island to Ekpe, right? How many general hospitals are there? From Lagos Island to Ekpe, how many fire stations are there? You understand me? These are basic amenities.
Okay.
And I want the government to know that the government should understand governance better, that to empower the local government make the job of the state government a lot easier.
Okay.
If there's a mandate, I was in government, I know the mandate. Almost every year, every 2 years or for 3 years, the local government and the LCDA always provide vehicles to the police for security. Why can't they provide vehicles to the hospitals and ambulances for each area? Why can't they provide fire engines? You understand me? These are the areas. The third class government is a very important set of government.
Right.
I'm in London now. Everything I do here in my house here, I deal with the local government. I don't go to the mayor of London to probably come to my. No. I go to my local authority. I call them up. So the local authority, what the president said, that will be more accountable. They have to have their autonomy. They are recognized. The state should recognize them.
Okay.
Lagos City Hall was built by Lagos City Council, not the state.
Right.
A lot of things the state are there. Okay, again, don't let me forget that Lagos State, the government has done a lot in areas of tourism.
Right.
Commissioner for tourism, Token Benson, right, and the SA Idris are doing a very good job.
Okay.
They're really promoting Lagos, and Lagos is seamless to promote anyway.
Right.
But they're adding their own source to it.
Okay.
And the government has developed the JK Random section, and I was there, my children were there, I took my grandson there. It's a very safe place for tourism.
Right.
We should give him a good boost for that as well.
Okay, Alade, because before I forget, because you also did mention just before you touched on tourism, that you would also want Mr. Governor to improve, on the transportation sector. But, during the administration of Mr. Sanwo-Olu is where we've seen 2 rail lines now up. We have the blue line from Mile 2 to Marina, and we also have the red line from Agbado to Onyigbo. We also have, the waterways also given a lot of attention as we speak. So if those 2 sectors are receiving attention, which other area specifically would you want the governor to consolidate on in terms of transportation?
Well, something? The blue line and the red line, you know the story. I know the story. You understand me? At the same time, the urge to add another line, it's a fantastic idea. It's a continuum, right? We are having now continuum in Lagos government governors after governors are taking over projects that are being progressive and they're succeeding in completing them. Fantastic. Our waterways are there as well. All these things has always been there. You understand me? But they're not moving on it. But the point is that how many rail stations do we have? You understand me? How many jetties do we have? The basic form of transportation now for us, don't let's kid about it. We are not Europe yet. Is our buses.
Right.
You understand me? I don't understand there is no surgeon about it. It's not a it's a no-brainer to be sincere. They need to be well conducted.
Okay.
I need to what we hear that all these street ushers make millions and billions from the road, harassing motorists. It should be well arranged.
Okay.
The days of Lagos City transportation, we knew it very well. Even briefly when the military came in 83, we saw the queue.
Right.
The buses are there. You know, but if you see the racketing buses, to make it worse, there are no more taxis in Lagos.
There are still taxes. We now have the lag ride, right?
Lag ride, yeah.
Lag ride, yes. The blue taxes.
You see, the point is that, you know, there are taxis everywhere. And if you go to New York, you know it's yellow and black. You go to London, it's black cab. You come to Lagos,
you have the blue cab. We have the blue cabs now.
The blue cab, right? The state government initiative, and it's limited. You understand?
True.
In a state that we have tourism in charge. You see, what are the basic information to register a cab in Lagos?
Okay.
What are the basic prerequisites to register a dampo in Lagos? How accountable are they? You see, all these things need to be codified and put in our data system.
Okay.
I mean, it's very key. It is very, very key.
Right.
You see, I mean, so our basic form of transportation, right now they are trying the buses, they are having probably like an oyster tag now, they are moving around, but a lot needs to be done.
Okay.
It's not regular. We need to sit down there and work out how best to staff our people. And they will definitely, there's bus in every corner.
Okay.
There's bus in every corner.
Right.
You understand me? Why? We must have enough bus stop in Lagos. We grew up to know that if you stand by the road there, the bus will not stop there for you. The bus will go down the road. At every junction, there's a bus stop. And you see our last man officer there. How can the junction be a bus stop? How can?
Okay.
Doesn't make any sense. But that is part of the. Okay.
All right. We know that construction of road is very germane to the development of any state or country. In terms of the numbers of roads constructed by this administration, would you say that they are enough? Are you impressed? Or can we do things better than they are?
You know something, right? Let's get something clear. This state has not constructed, I'm not telling, maybe 10% of roads since the last 6 years. What we are doing, Lagos is very metropolitan, right? And Lagos is very cosmopolitan. All the roads are there. Most of the roads are there. All we need is maintenance. Do you understand me? Did the government create GI to Aja or BI or Aja to expand? No, it has always been there.
But there are new roads. There are new roads at the local level that local government level that were newly constructed and inaugurated by Mr. Governor. You see, let's understand and let us be sincere. We are talking about new roads. It is putting the tar on the road, make them a new road. New constructions. Apart from the beginning. That's why let me give you a scenario. When the K1 started, it was a government allocation, right? They map out,
You understand? It's a new town they map out for road construction. I will tell you, without a doubt, most of the inner streets, inner road at that time was carried out from that when the town was starting. Most of those inner roads were what were done by the Association of Landlords in those neighborhoods. But the divide has always been there. Like I told you, I will say it again. The government has not done 10% of road, if you say construction, but to maintain and upgrade it.
Okay.
I will not agree with that. But to tell me that in the major road we are seeing, we need better maintenance of our old road.
Okay.
You understand me? To link the community together, there are loads and loads, there are loads and loads of roads that have been there. If you go to villages, even across out of Lagos, there's always a pathway. The Lagos-Ibadan old road has been there before the express came.
But it's better than what it is now.
That's why I'm telling you, without a doubt, as I'm telling you, the maintenance. You see, the problem we have now is that state governments are waiting for the federal government to do the express. Meanwhile, the local road you elected has always been there. Why don't you maintain it?
Okay.
If you are living in Korodu to go into Ogun State, Itoki, to go down that axis, or you are living the pedal to go through Ijebu. I mean, right now, the express is so beautiful, but the inner roads have always been there.
Right.
Let the farmers enjoy those things. Develop it for them. Right? The path is cleared already. So all you need to do, we need to maintain them and upgrade them.
Okay.
That's the most important thing. And a road like Lekki, VI or Human Body all the way to Lekki, to Aja, to Epe. They are working there, but the road needs a lot of attention.
Okay.
That is the truth.
All right. Okay, that's fine. Jibola, your next question.
Talking about inner roads now, shouldn't that be the responsibility of local government as well, instead of the state government?
Okay, well, do you want to refer to the local government? Can you refer to local government for God's sake? Almost 70% of local government responsibility has been taken over by the state government. Not only in Lagos, in most part of the country. Their source of revenue, their powers. Primary schools are under local government. Your advertising is under local government. Your Roma is under local. Even your lottery is under local government. You understand me? But the state has harmonized all these things, and they now allocate to them what the things they decide.
Okay.
You understand me? So we should not have to draw the line. Like between responsibility and obligations.
Right.
Right? How accountable will you be without some resources?
Okay. Earlier, you mentioned the issue of the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, and we do also know that there is the Lagos State Security Trust Fund and a couple of other issues here in Lagos that are catering to the needs of the grassroots. So how much has Mr. Governor done in grassroots development, even though we know you've mentioned the fact that there has to be more devolution of powers at the local level, but as a state and as a governor, how much empowerment has the government given to the citizens of Lagos?
Well, I mean, I was one of the founding trustee members of the Employment Trust Fund, right? We started it, and the governor then, right, gave us the freedom to operate. I can tell you one of the most organized agencies in Lagos today is the Employment Trust Fund.
Okay.
And the governor has continued in that process, and as well as Governor Fashola as well started security trust fund as well. And the private participation, especially the banks, in that area are very encouraging. And those funds, those two funds have become a template for other states in Nigeria. And they impacted people. I can tell you so many people were able to start their businesses from the loan collected from the
Employment Trust
Employment
Fund.
Trust Fund. Right? Because at that time, the interest of that loan was 3%. We told the government then we argued, he moved it to 5%. At that time, till today, all other microfinance charges 60% a year, right? We charge 5% a year to encourage Lagosians to come up and do businesses, and we assist in whatever businesses they are doing. And you see, a lot of people have been self-sufficient, but I will tell you that has eradicated the poverty in the class or what have you. But a lot of beneficiaries to that system, to that funds, and they are still ongoing.
Right.
And we need to be more disciplined, because in our first year we had a lot of bad debt, because people does not want to pay back, because they think
it's free money.
Pay back. No. So we have to chase them. We have to embarrass some people, and by the time they realize our position.
Okay.
You guarantee we're no more doing that.
Okay, there's no free food anywhere. So now you have identified the role of government. Let's talk about the people now. You just cited an example. People who got grants and loans from government and they don't want to pay back. So in moving Lagos forward, what role do we have to play as well as Lagosians in terms of our responsibility and the payment of our taxes, so that government can have enough money to provide some of these infrastructure and amenities that you have identified?
During the BRF government, there was a major strike. And you see, our problem is manpower. I'm telling you, I think we still need few thousands more of LASMA, few thousands more of tax officer, few thousands more of nurses, of policemen, because you know something, right? The government know where to go. You understand me? But you know something? There's no manpower. Now I saw a chart now of some overspeeding limit or speed limit here and there. How much can they enforce it? Let's be realistic. You see somebody making a U-turn beside the police officer, an illegal U-turn. The guy is powerless to do anything about it. He's powerless. Even let's forget that if they stop you, they want to extort you. How long will that mentality continue? Government is human. Government is human. Government is not a masquerade. We are the government, we are the people. The people are the government are one and the same. So there can be no separation. And this kind of ethics come from the top. It's a top-down, bottom approach. I mean, we lead by example. If the government brother was arrested now for overspeeding, all right, he will be telling the president, don't you know me? I'm the governor's brother. And if the last one, the policeman, is not who he's supposed to be, I'm sorry, sir, you can go, sir. You understand me? So we need to change the mentality. I'm telling you.
That's true.
During the Brandon government said something to us, said, if you are caught on boss lane, just go and resign. Because I am the governor of Lagos State, I can sit in traffic, I don't mind, no salino, nothing. So I don't know wherever you are rushing to.
Right.
And you cannot stay in your car and
through the traffic.
And I know people that so I remember a commissioner, when the major is there, when he was in the bus there and he saw some policemen, he jumped out of the car, he started running on the street. He left his car with the driver. You understand? So that is the level of understanding and discipline you need to exhibit.
Okay.
If that does not, if it is not obvious,
all right,
people around you will do less.
As we wrap up this conversation this morning, this administration has barely 2 years to go. For you, what are some of the priorities that you think Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu should concentrate on before he wraps up his tenure as the governor of Lagos State?
Well, you know, the point is that governance is continual. I will tell you areas of education, our schools, and housing.
Okay.
For crying out loud, please, for God's sake. You see, there's no place like bush in Lagos or anywhere. By the time you put houses there, people will move there. We put the basic amenities there, people will move there. We need to understand the community. If you live in Nigeria, you don't even have any business in Lekki. It should be self-sufficient, right? We need to lead by example.
Okay.
The government needs to show a lot of discipline within himself and his cabinet.
Right.
So people can see them as a role model, not as Oga, but as a role model. That would be my own submission.
Okay.
They need to be a proper role model to negotiate, and they can emulate them in their ways and hold on to their beliefs.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Alade Babatunde Bakanthony, Public Affairs Analyst and APC member, for sharing your thoughts with us on the conversation this morning.
Hey, thank you, madam. And the way you called my name is like you came back to me. Thank you so much.
Okay, because we've been chatting with our guest. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Because we've been chatting with our guest this morning, and he's taking us through his own perspective of the last 6 years of Mr. Governor and what he hopes Mr. Governor will consolidate on in the last 2 years of his administration. Ajibola, what do you think?
I'll go back to what I said earlier. Government alone. Who is government? We are the government. So if government is doing its best, even though the resources are limited, people should also strive to play their own part. Of course, those infrastructure provided by government, we should ensure that they are properly maintained. We should not abuse those infrastructure so that government will not come back next year and come and repeat what's been done earlier. Because some people damage those infrastructure, because some people are not doing what they are supposed to do.
Right.
So instead of government challenging those funds into something else, they'll come back and want to maintain.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody has a responsibility to play when it comes to issues around governance. It is not just those who are elected who are government. Everyone, should have a role to play when it comes to community development. At least if nobody is seeing you, God is seeing you, and posterity will definitely judge you at the end of the day. So let's all play a part and be part and be change agents. Well, that's the much we'll take on the conversation today. Many thanks for watching. It's the midweek edition. By God's grace, 10 a.m. tomorrow will be another time to join the team on the conversation. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Abimbola Bello.
And I am Ajibola Ojashola. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.